Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. It is the evening of January 1st, 2022, and what a better way to spend the evening than to start my YouTube channel. The goal of my channel is to take you from growing to harvesting throughout an entire growing season so that you can learn how to grow your own food, you can know how to grow your own flowers, you can know how to make a sustainable landscape, not only for yourself, but for nature as well. Today, I'm going to take you through my seed inventory. I start a lot of my plants from seed. Probably most of my plants that go in the garden start from seed. And I just got my seed order in a couple days ago. I bought from Johnny's, and thank you to my brother who got me a gift card. That helped out a lot. This is my first year buying from Johnny's. I have full faith in them because it's been recommended by other gardeners. And then anything that I've owned previously, I just get from my local garden center. In Champaign, that would be probably Prairie Gardens. But anyways, when you're not growing in the garden and when it's cold and gross and rainy outside and the days are short, now's a really good time to take a look at what you have in terms of your seed inventory and then also place your orders for seeds for the next growing season, because you can probably start some of them even in the next month or two, believe it or not, to get a head start. Shall we begin? Yes. Cheers, everybody, to a successful growing season and to 2022. This evening, I am sipping on a beer called Fat Tire by New Belgium Brewery, located in Asheville, North Carolina, which is one of my favorite cities. It's where I got engaged last year. Here's how I've been storing my seeds. I actually just picked this up at a resale shop the other day, like right before Christmas. How cute is this? And it was $1, maybe $2. It's from a resale shop, so it's well loved and well used. But I just thought it was so perfect with all these drawers. I mean, you can even see someone used to have labels here. So I might have to hit up my dad. Hey, Dad, can I borrow your label maker? Right now, I've got that was my herb drawer. This is my vegetable drawer, vegetable seed drawer. This is my flower drawer, and I have some labels and stuff in there. And then, oh yeah, this is a good drawer. Anything I have in paper bags are seeds that I've collected myself. I did an Instagram live video about that, so you can check that out on my Instagram. And then just these really big seed boxes that I got from Dollar General on clearance. So I'm excited to try them, and I'll take you through all of these and the new seeds that I just bought as well. So let's get started. All right, so I've got all my vegetable seeds right in front of me. I'm gonna go through this as quickly as I can, both showing you what I have and then maybe an anecdote or two about my experience growing them in my garden last year. Starting with Acorn Squash. I'm gonna start off strong because this one was a major fail last year. I tried to grow several different acorn squashes. Didn't do so great, but they're pretty. I would use them for decorative purposes. Next, I have, our first green. We've got some arugula, so easy to grow. In fact, it's January 1st, and it's still in my garden. Right now, I could go out into my garden and get some arugula because these are incredibly cold hardy. So that's awesome. Sow that directly into the ground. Next, I have several different types of beans. So the biggest difference when you look for bean seeds is whether they are a bush bean style that does not require trellising, or a pole bean trial that will climb up a trellis for you. It just depends on what your garden looks like. You can choose one or the other. There will be some differences in taste and texture, so just make sure if you're interested in growing beans, you just read the packet so you know which kind you're buying. And these can be sown directly into the ground. All right, I'm gonna keep on going. Next I have beet seeds. Beet seeds are super cool, and I guess this is the case with a lot of other seeds, but when you look at what you think would be just one seed, it's actually multiple seeds. So you really don't have to worry about germination rates because just this one thing probably has 3 seeds in it. So I don't have to worry about putting multiple seeds in per cell or per hole in the ground. So that's kind of neat. There's a word for it. I forget the word. So yeah, beets are also really easy to grow, cool weather crop, so you can start them in early spring after danger of frost. Dwight Schrute would be proud. Okay, next I have some broccoli. The broccoli just really stood out to me as super delicious. Grow your own broccoli for sure. And I've got cauliflower coming up next too. It takes a long time. It's a huge plant, so you have to make sure you have enough room for it. But I think it's worth it. Here's another winter squash, another sad fail story. I didn't get a single butternut squash last growing season, and that's okay. I'm going to try again next season. Okay, we've got carrots next, another really easy vegetable to grow. This variety is the multicolor carrot. You can also obviously get just orange carrots or whatever variety you're looking for. Definitely want to sow these directly into the ground, and you want to be patient, but it's kind of cool. I mean, you could pull up a carrot when it's a little baby, or you can pull up a carrot when it's humongous. So it just kind of depends what size carrots you want. I also have some carrots in the garden right now that I'm overwintering. It's kind of an experiment. The greens might die, but since the carrot itself is underground, it's more insulated. It should be fine. It might even push up new green growth once it starts warming up. Cauliflower was another big one that I thought was really good tasting, growing myself. But just like broccoli, it takes a while, takes up a lot of room, and you just kind of have to pay close attention to it. But still worth it. Corn. All right, so my next one is corn. And I grew 4 stalks of corn last year in a grow bag. This season, I'm definitely going to do rows of corn. I just created space for 950 square feet of row crop gardening. This is definitely going in there. Corn was bred by Native Americans and grown in rows because that increases the chances of germination, and we want germination because that's what we eat. Those are all seeds that we eat that have been germinated. So if we can plant in better ways to increase that chance, that's better. So I've got 2 varieties of cucumbers. I love cucumbers both for snacking fresh and for pickling. And so you can have a pickling variety of cucumbers. In fact, that's what this is. You just harvest it at a different time, basically. You don't want it to get too big, so you can still put them in your canning jars and preserve them as pickles. But really fun, really easy to grow crop. This one makes me really sad because this is the only winter squash that I actually harvested. And I wanted to save them and dry them so I could make them into birdhouses. It's literally a birdhouse gourd. So I put them up in my garage and they all molded. So I need to figure out what I did wrong. Maybe there's too much moisture in the garage. Maybe it's just not dry enough. Maybe I need to store them in the basement. So we'll figure that out last year. And I think I'll have more success with winter squashes and really any squashes in general that climb because I just bought this big giant, it's called a squash tunnel. So they have room to grow up the tunnel and then their fruit just kind of fall down through. So I think that should be more successful growing that way. Another green I have is lettuce, really easy to grow. You could honestly, if you have room in your garden, just throw out some seeds, sprinkle them wherever, and you will get lettuce. This one happens to be a variety blend, so it's kind of fun. You never really know what you're gonna get. Okay, I bought these at the dollar store. I was really excited when I saw them because I love okra. I've mostly had okra pickled at restaurants. I've never cooked it. I've never grown it myself. So I thought, it's at the dollar store, it's on clearance, might as well give it a try. And if I, do a good job this season, I'm going to keep on growing it. Next, we're getting into peppers. So I grew several varieties of peppers last year. The classic jalapeno, and then you've got your bell peppers. You definitely want to start these inside because they need warm weather. In fact, we started them from seed on a warming mat. So those definitely need to be started inside. Look how cute. And then look how sad, because I didn't get any pumpkins last year. Please don't be discouraged with me saying I didn't get this, because that's what gardening is all about, is figuring out what do I want and what do I need to do to get it. I mean, I'm still learning, so I'm going to figure out, okay, where did I put my pumpkin seeds last year? What conditions did I try to grow them in? And how can I change it to try to increase my chances of success? So we will have pumpkins next year. We will. Oh, radishes. So easy, so satisfying. You could practically pop them right into the ground and walk away. After a blink of an eye, you will have radishes. This is the shortest turnaround from seed to harvest probably that I have in my collection, maybe with the exception of some greens, but you can have radishes in less than a month when you plant these babies, and they're delicious, both fresh and pickled. Spinach. Not much else to say about spinach except you should have it in your garden because it makes delicious salads, and it's cut and come again. So that just means if you cut out and harvest these outer spinach leaves, then you still leave room for growth in the middle. Then eventually these will mature and you'll cut those and the plant can just keep going, mostly in cool weather, so you'll probably get spring crop and a fall crop. Oh, tomatoes, how I love you so. So I have several varieties of tomatoes, and I bought some more varieties to try for this growing season. Obviously, you need to have your cherry tomatoes, especially if you live with a 7-year-old who eats these like candy. No complaints. And then you also want to have probably aroma variety if you're interested in making sauces and canning those sauces. So definitely consider aroma variety. And then you can have your classic like heirloom tomato for slicing and sandwiches and stuff like that. So several varieties of tomatoes, but I think the thing you need to pay attention to is whether your tomato plants are determinate or indeterminate. So my only indeterminate tomato last growing season were my cherries, and that just means there's no limit to their growth. As long as it hasn't had a hard frost, they will still keep producing fruit. So that was really awesome to have pretty much an unlimited supply of cherry tomatoes, whereas my Romas are listed as determinate. Yeah, it's listed as determinate, which surprises me because I got such a good crop, like such a high yield of these. Once they started producing, they never stopped. So while it's listed as determinate, they kind of behaved like an indeterminate because it was so heavy yielding. I think these are also, these are also determinate. So it'll always say, the seed packets always have really good info. I have squash bugs, and they ate almost any attempt I had on trying to grow zucchini, which is a huge bummer. So I'm definitely going to make a bigger effort to protect them from those types of pests next growing season, because I love to eat these mostly sauteed in butter, but then also you could spiralize them and just sneak them into your everyday foods like marinara sauce and things like that for some nutritional value. That's it for my vegetables from last year. I still have my new seeds to go through. So I think I'm ready to move on to flowers. I cannot say enough about this flower. It's called Alyssum, sometimes called carpet of snow, and it is the daintiest, most beautiful, abundant, gorgeous flower that bloomed for months. I direct sowed them right into the ground, probably in late March, early April. and I had blooms until November. They're super short. They only grow about a foot, but my goodness, these are amazing plants, amazing flowers. I can't say enough good things. This one's really important to me because it's native to our area. It's called butterfly flower. It's a milkweed. So this is what monarch caterpillars will exclusively feed off of. So in an effort to support those populations and to support the beauty that they bring us in our gardens, I definitely am going to plant more of these. And the even more awesome thing about butterfly flower is that it's a perennial. So everything I've showed you thus far is an annual, which means I get to replant it every single year because the frost will wipe it out. This is a perennial. So it'll kind of go to sleep in the winter, but then come spring, it'll pick back up. Good to go. So this is a new packet. I bought it after the season, and it's called calendula. You can make salve out of it. I've heard some people say salve, and then other people say salve. So I'm not really sure. But you can make salve out of it, which is like this, not quite lotion, but it can be used as a moisturizer. It can help with some skin irritation. And then also, they're pretty to look at, of course. But another benefit of growing these is that they're aphid magnets. Why would I want to grow something that attracts aphids? So they stay away from my other plants, right? That I'm going to try to eat. So calendula, can't wait to grow you. I couldn't believe I found these seeds. I didn't know you could grow Coleus from seeds. I've always bought my Coleus from my local garden center as little baby plants. So I'm really excited to try to grow these. I bought these again late in the season last year, so I didn't get a chance to grow them, but I'm super excited. This is the rainbow mix. So we'll see what I get. Forget-me-nots, haven't grown them, looking forward to it. My marigolds this year, I grew a different variety. The variety I grew is called Cracker Jack, and they did really well for me. This is a different variety from the dollar store. French Dwarf Double Mix. Looks like I'll get a variety of different bloom colors. So I'm really excited about that. Not only are they pretty to look at, but they smell really good too. Morning Glory. They're just pretty. I bought these from Dollar General at the end of the season. Everything was on clearance, and I've never grown them before. Ranunculus. And I'm just remembering now that they are bulbs. Is it too late to grow these? Soak the bulbs for 2 hours in lukewarm water before planting to add moisture back to the bulb after the danger of frost. Okay, phew, because I just finished planting 700 bulbs on my property, because you usually do that in October, November, December, so that it has enough time to establish its roots during the winter season, and then it sends up its stem in springtime. Looks like this doesn't necessarily fall into that category. I don't even know if you consider these bulbs. But yeah, I'm really excited. Oh, they're pushing little roots. You see those little hairs? Those are cute. They look beautiful. Kind of rosy. Ranunculus. I have a lot of sunflowers. I grew a lot of sunflowers, and I'm going to continue to grow sunflowers. They are so easy and so beautiful. You just can't go wrong. And the only thing I would say is pay attention to how tall they get. Like I have some, for example, this one can grow, like it says 10 feet, but it's the mammoth variety, so that makes sense. But I swear, I think they might have reached 12, maybe 14. It was insane how tall some of these got. When I have this on video, maybe I'll try to find it somewhere. When I had to pull the roots out from my garden, from the mammoth sunflower seeds, it was hysterical because they were just giant. So just pay attention to how tall some of these things can get. This is 4 to 5 feet, 2 feet, 10 feet. Ooh, is this another? Yeah, this is another mammoth variety, and another 12 mammoth. So I've got all over the board. Sweet peas. Looks like I opened this, but none of these actually made it into my garden last growing season. I don't know what the problem was there, but I'm looking forward to them. They're cute. They're pretty. If you are a first-time gardener and you are wanting to grow flowers, especially for bouquets or arrangements, I highly recommend growing zinnias. I have tons of different varieties. They're just super high yielding, super beautiful. They have a decent vase life, so that's helpful too. And most, if not all of these are cut and come again. So just like I mentioned with the greens earlier, you can harvest some flowers for arrangements and then they're still going to keep producing flowers. So that's really helpful. That's it for my flower seeds. The only other seeds I have from my previous growing season were seeds that I harvested myself. So I'm storing them in a brown paper bag. I have them labeled, right? So I harvested these sunflower seeds from my sunflowers. They might not look exactly like they did in the previous generation because of cross-pollination and stuff, but what a fun experiment. So I have sunflower seeds, purple coneflower, which is really important because those are native to our area and are really good for our native beneficials. And then just some others that I have in here. Okay, so zinnias, I just showed you. I have tons of seed packets of zinnias, but then look at how many seeds I collected, actually. And this was just in like 10 minutes. I got all of these seeds. So once you have an established garden, like I'm imagining there's going to be some types of flowers where I won't even need to buy seed packets anymore. So a lot of this is called chaff, and that just is like dried up petals and stuff. So I might have to like sift through this a little bit and actually pick out the seeds. They're in here, and I just think it's so fun that I was able to collect these from the plants that I already grew and just kind of keep doing that season after season. So I'm going to put what I have out on my desk away because I need to make room for the new seeds that I bought from Johnny's. So I was really excited to order from Johnny's Seeds. It is pricier. In fact, I think they just raised their prices like a lot of companies are doing these days. Now, the only thing is that they don't have pretty pictures on them. Maybe I can put some pictures up on the screen. We'll see. And I haven't looked through these yet, so we get to do this together. I'm just in no particular order, other than what Johnny himself did. Thanks, Johnny. We've got, it's so hard without the pictures. Okay, I can read. Oh, Brussels sprouts. Yeah, so my order has a mix of things that I have grown before, just wanted to try a Johnny's variety, and stuff that I have not grown before, like Brussels sprouts. I can't wait to grow these. I think it's such a cool plant. I mean, Brussels sprouts are also delicious, but they're just going to be really cool to grow. I can't wait. So yay, that was a good first one. Nice. Oh yeah, I'll definitely have to try to figure out how to put pictures up because you just need to see what these look like. It's called Amaranth, and this variety is called Emerald Tassels. Yeah, Emerald Tassels. I also bought another variety of Amaranth. I'll probably get to that later on. They're just so gorgeous, so striking, like nothing I've ever seen before, and I can't wait to have them growing in my garden and to use them in arrangements. Okay, like this is a plant that I grew last year. It's called Nasturtium. Not only are the blooms gorgeous and the leaves are extremely unique and beautiful looking, but they also are edible. So I think that is really cool. Really easy to grow. Next is a custom mix of Snapdragons. I'm really excited to grow this flower. They look beautiful. It's going to be great. And to have a mix is really cool too. So, because I can't decide on colors. Like, you do want a variety. Otherwise, it's hard for me to pick out what colors I want and don't want. So I really liked the option that Johnny's gave me to just have a mix. This is another really unique plant that I haven't grown yet, but I'm really excited to. It's called Nigella, and this variety is called Love in a Mist. And I think they just have really unique structure to it. Everybody needs to grow basil in their garden, whether it's for eating and like actually using it as an herb or letting it go to flower, because both are great options. I also bought an herb drying rack from Gardener Supply that I'm really excited to use. So I'm going to try drying some of my herbs this year and kind of crushing them to make my own herb shakers. I think my theme for picking out new flowers and new varieties to grow from Johnny's is based on how just cool they are. And I'm really trying to grow more unique things in my garden this season, and this is the perfect example. Celosia is the coolest looking flower ever. It's like got this velvety brain looking flower. Oh, I can't wait. And this is another mix, so I'll have a variety of different colors. Back to herbs for a second. Here's some dill. If I'm gonna be canning more pickles this season, I definitely want to have my own dill in the garden, or seeing if they dry okay, like on the herb drying rack that I bought. Same thing with oregano. I realized after I made my purchase that I accidentally bought two. So if anyone needs some oregano, text me. This is a cute little flower. It's called Gomphrena. I've never grown it before, but it looks really cute, so I'm really excited. Ooh, okay. I haven't grown cabbage before, whether I'm eating it fresh or boiling it for corned beef and cabbage, or making sauerkraut or kimchi for the first time. That would be the fermenting route to take with cabbage. I'm really excited to grow some. More cauliflower, more peppers. This is the only new type of sunflower I bought, and it's called Teddy Bear, and I bought it, again, going with that theme of like growing cool new things. These sunflowers are so unique looking. This is going to be the cool... I could say that about everything, but I really think this is going to be the coolest artichokes in my garden. I can't wait. Even if I don't harvest the artichoke hearts themselves, so if this is the artichoke, if I don't harvest it, it'll just open up into this beautiful looking flower, like nothing I've ever seen before. And they're really easy to dry and preserve, so that would be a really cool project. I'm really excited to grow this plant because it's classified as an herb, but I'm probably going to grow it for its flowers because they're just really dainty, really cute looking. You can put them in arrangements. Obviously, it's edible. I haven't eaten it before. People say it has like a cucumbery taste, so that's pretty cool, but I think the flowers are really cute too. Celery. Haven't grown it before. We'll see. I got more pumpkins. I couldn't grow my jack-o'-lantern pumpkins last year, but we'll see how we do this year. This is a really cool variety. I just thought it was pretty. I'm really hopeful that I'll get some pumpkins this year so I can use them for decorating my house around the fall Halloween time. Oh, here's that other amaranth that I got. And just beautiful, these draping flowers. This variety is the Coral Fountain. So the other one was Emerald, and then it just is really going to be complemented by this coral variety. I'm going to grow them right next to each other, and it's just going to be amazing. I was so close to having success with Cosmos last summer, but mine got really, really big and then got knocked over by like a windstorm or like a thunderstorm or something, and I just couldn't save them, so I didn't get to see their flowers. I'm gonna try to stake them this year if they get too big, and hopefully I can keep them alive long enough to actually enjoy their beautiful dainty flowers. And then the last bag I have is really big. It's so funny. I don't know if I clicked on a different button or something, or if this is just how big they are. These are peas. So I really enjoyed growing and harvesting these peas last year. Not this variety specifically, just in general. They're really easy to grow. You just pop them right into the soil, and they have a short maturity date, and I just ate them right off the plant. Really good, really tasty, really fresh. So anyways, that was my seed inventory for the upcoming 2022, oh, that feels weird to say, 2022 growing season. These are little fun projects that you can do when it's cold or snowy, or in my case, rainy, and this just, satisfies my hobbies of gardening. Even though I'm not planting or harvesting anything right now, I'm preparing, and that's the best thing you can do to meet those needs. When you can't be outside, you start to plan things when you can go outside. So anyway, that is my seed inventory. Welcome to my channel. Like I said, I'm really hoping to take you through an entire growing season, from going through your seeds to starting seeds indoors to popping seeds into the ground to maintenance, growing, watering, and harvesting, and then even bonus, how to preserve things, whether you want to can or dry or just cook fresh. Let's do everything and all the things. It's going to be great. Thanks so much for watching. Happy New Year!